What's poppin', friends? Nex here, glad you could join me for a few minutes today. Starting off, I do apologize if you hear background rustling and everything. My rabbit is very restless today, and she's just jumping all over the place, and it's making a little bit of noise that I don't know if it's getting picked up by the microphone or not. I should also say that there are some Episode 7 spoilers for Hell of a Boss, so if you've been holding out on watching Episode 7 because Episode 8 isn't out yet, which I do know there are people who have been doing that, you may want to save this video for another time. Okay? Cool. I think we can get started. Unpopular opinion time. Blitzo got what he deserved. Now before you start getting mad at me, let me explain. I adore Blitzo. He's in my top 2 characters for Hell of a Boss, but his actions at Ozzy's were entirely uncalled for. I get that it would have been nice for Stolas to defend him, but he lied to Stolas just so he could spy on Moxie and Millie. He invited Stolas out. Stolas struggled to make conversation because Blitzo was just too caught up in spying on his employees, and then made Stolas a target to be publicly humiliated because he didn't just let Moxie handle his own problems, and felt the need to step in when Fizzarali and Asmodeus were pushing him around for
singing love songs in my lustful lounge.
As far as social practices, I know it's hell, but Stolas has a designated job and ranking. He's a noble, meaning that there are eyes on him and a lot of pressure on his public appearance. From the look of things, Stella was the one who focused on how he looks, and he doesn't quite understand the consequences of following his heart to pursue Blitz. He also doesn't seem to realize at first that he values Blitz enough that the societal repercussions don't matter. Not until after Blitz has gotten him shamed by Asmodeus for abandoning his family and status for the sake of sleeping with an imp and pursuing a relationship with him. But as far as Blitz is concerned, he's so wrapped up in the fact that Stolas hid behind his menu unsure of what to do, and didn't come to save Blitz from a situation that he created. Blitz is the one who tried standing up to Fizzarali and Asmodeus.
Hey now, I've watched those two pork many times.
What? Blitz?
And honestly, they make missionary look relatively exciting.
Blitz is the one who made himself a public enemy to try and save Moxie from the situation.
That Blitzo? So you're showing your face? Hey everybody! This guy's a total disgrace. Some nerve you got to comment on a relationship. Last I checked, your love life is a pile of shit!
Blitz is the one who broke into the place on the foundation of a lie after being told not to come.
Oh, it's fine. I can come with the two of you. Help you celebrate your boring as fuck monogamy.
No. The reservation is for us.
Uh-huh.
Just us.
Mm-hmm.
Without you there. Explicitly without you there.
I would also like to point out that he knew Fizzarali was there, and Fizzarali had also just announced that Verosica was there.
We have a great lineup for you tonight. Verosica Mayday, Wet Dream, and the Squirters!
He knew things would get heated if he spoke up, so I don't see why he expects everyone will step in to save him from himself. There was no reason to expect that much of Stolas in a hell of his own making. Do I think Stolas did nothing wrong? Of course not. He has made mistakes, especially as a father and husband. In his relationship with Blitz, he's been making mistakes regularly. He doesn't know or understand how his actions impact others, and there's a really strange, naive quality to him when it comes to being in this relationship with Blitz. However, if we're being fair, if Blitz didn't get into Ozzy's, he and Stolas wouldn't be in this position. If Blitz didn't stand up for Moxie, he and Stolas wouldn't be in this position. Stolas asked if Blitz was inviting him on a date, and Blitz said yes.
Are you asking me on a date, Blitzy?
Yes, I suppose that is what's happening. How fast can you get down to lust?
I can be ready in 20.
Blitz lied to get what he wanted, yet was still extremely upset when Stolas didn't step up fearlessly against his superior. When it comes to the hierarchy of hell, Asmodeus vastly outranks Stolas. Why would Stolas stand up for Blitz when Blitz was being so reckless? Additionally, why would he stand up for Blitz when Blitz was not even remotely invested in the concept of being on a date with Stolas, which it's pretty obvious he could tell? Blitz needs to realize that there are consequences for everything he does, and he won't always get his way. Instead of pitying himself and wallowing in misery on his couch, he should take the time to learn from his mistakes, which it really feels like he never does. Probably the only thing he did correctly was finally open up in the van to Stolas, telling him how he felt and how Stolas made him feel with his actions.
Stolas, don't act like what we have is anything but you wanting me to fuck you, okay? You make that really clear all the time. But I can't do it tonight, okay? I'm sorry.
I can only hope that this leads to something better coming for Stolas and Blitz in the future, but of course we never know what direction the show is about to take. One of the things I hate most about Episode 7 is it doesn't feel like it came after Episode 6. We had some massive character relationship development between Blitz and Moxie during Truth Seekers, where they have a very real moment and level the playing field between them.
Look, I'm hard on you because I know what you're capable of, Mox. You care too much about what everyone thinks, except for me, because, you know, my opinion is correct, but just keep doing a good job, okay? You shoot and kill good, you escape things easy, you can be strategic and cold-blooded when you need to, and don't expect any more compliments. I'm maxed out.
Thank you, sir.
You know my name. Use it.
Thanks, Blitz.
So why at the start of Episode 7 is Blitz suddenly a clingy bitch again who's overstepping boundaries with no growth at all? There is no reason why Blitz should have involved himself in the situation. Blitz shouldn't have even been there. Episode 7's entire plot and the struggle between Blitz and Stolas are entirely dependent on Blitz behaving like this. So why did Episode 6 come before Ozzy's? There could be a few reasons, one of which is that dorks will be popping up in the season finale with Episode 8. But I suspect they won't be. I don't feel like they'll return until Season 2, so that still leaves the questions on why are we back to Episode 1 IMP? The only characters who seem to have retained any sort of growth are Luna and Millie, who arguably have the least amount of screen time as far as IMP is concerned. I adore the characters in Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, but to be frank, we have way too many loose ends right now, and the order that the episodes are in just don't make sense. Beyond episodes 1 and 2, everything seems to have been arbitrary events. Cherub seems like a useless episode that doesn't further anything to do with the plot. We haven't seen Stryker since episode 5, but we know he'll be in season 2. Dorks isn't present, but we've been introduced to them. All of season 1 just feels like a character showcase, which is a little painful when it comes to episodes like Truth Seekers and Ozzy's that are inherently designed to be emotional. Stolas retained some of his growth as a father from Lululand, so why can't we see that sort of evolution in other characters? It feels like it may have been better to swap episodes 7 and 6 to make some level of sense instead of just focusing on, hey, what order should we introduce these characters in, by the way? Additionally, if you look at the Stolas and Blitz scene in episode 6, wouldn't it have been so much more meaningful if it took place after episode 7? Let me walk you through the scene here. Imagine, if you will, that they haven't seen each other on the most recent full moon. Stolas has left Blitz alone, and Blitz is just being stubborn Blitz. But suddenly, in Blitz's time of need, Stolas arrives at the Dorks facility and saves the entirety of IMP to rescue his impish little plaything. And they could have a night together focusing on each other in their reunion. That would feel far more like a season finale than what we have now. Season 1, in its current state, makes virtually any character growth useless and messy, with no one seeming to evolve. While the characters are mostly fun and amazing, adding diversity to the world they're working in, there are so many subplots and stories now with no fulfilling conclusion until, you guessed it, Season 2. I'm hoping that at least one thing gets tied up in the finale because, frankly, Episode 7 didn't seem like the first half of a finale. Up until Episode 8 comes out and we see the connections that the team intended, unfortunately, it really won't. Like everyone else, I'm very excited for Episode 8. While I may have some gripes about the writing and how the characters are played, this is a great show that has a lot of love poured into it. Let's remember to be patient while the animators do their thing. This is an expensive endeavor, so it's no wonder it's taking a long while to get everything out. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Stay safe, friends. It's a wild world outside.